channel. Today I'm going to be telling you my top 10 with one bonus tip, ideas that you as a parent can maximize on your sleep. We all know what it feels like when you are getting little to no rest to actually take that time to reset your body to then move on with another day of parenting the following day. Whether it's you've got one or two or more little ones waking you up at night looking for milk, looking for a cuddle, looking to be brought to the toilet, whether it's bedwetting, whatever it is, I know how that feels. I am so there with you, so all of the solidarity to you. Lack of sleep is not easy, and it means that just about everything the following day is more difficult. So I'm here to tell you my top tips from the perspective of a registered general nurse, also as an IBCLC, birth and postpartum doula, called mama by three little people, and very sleep deprived person to let you know what you can do to maximize on the sleep that you are getting. So let's dive straight into the tips. So tip number one is to be maximizing your daylight exposure. So whether that is hair bubble fell out. So whether that is making sure that you get out into your garden for your hot cup of coffee in the morning, or just opening up the curtains ASAP if you are working from home or you're at home with your little ones and not quite ready to go on that morning walk. Exposure to daylight early on with bare eyes, so no sunglasses or anything, makes a huge difference in terms of how you set your body up for your circadian rhythm to have a more restful sleep then come nighttime. It helps you to wind down, it helps you to have a more deep and more nourishing sleep when you actually get to that point. So making the most of the sleep that you just about get. My next tip then works on the other end of that, and that is to decrease the amount of exposure that you have to blue light. And the way blue light works, which is from our screens, so our phone, our laptop, our television, it tells us and tricks our body into thinking that it's still daytime. So when really we want to be winding our body down to get ready for a deep, restful and rejuvenating sleep, what blue light does is it tricks your body and tells your body that actually it's still daytime and that our body still thinks it needs to be keeping going and doesn't give itself that nice little break and wind down time that it needs. There are lots of different ways that you can avoid this blue light. My personal favorite, aside from like the blue light blocking glasses, is actually an app that you can download on your phone, because my worst habit was to lie in bed and scroll on my phone for like easily an hour before actually trying to go to sleep, which we all know is like the worst thing that you can do. And actually, like, how red are my eyes now because I've been sitting and filming and it's like nearly midnight, because I love to film when my babies are asleep so I can get time with them during the daytime. I'm probably like the worst advocate for a good sleep, honestly, but these are things that the evidence actually stands behind, which you know I'm all about, and blue light is one of them. And I've downloaded this fab app that actually puts on the blue light like shield for you come 9 o'clock, so you just set the time. So that's been hugely beneficial, because for me, I haven't had to think about it, and it's also free, so I'll make sure that I put the name of that in the little cards down below. The next thing that I also have implemented in my day is reducing caffeine come the afternoon. So caffeine has a wonderful stimulating effect. It increases alertness and like your reactivity and gives you that boost of energy that we all love as parents. And it's totally okay for you to have up to 2 cups of caffeinated drinks per day. So if that's Diet Cola, or if that is a cup of really strong black tea or a cup of coffee, whatever it might be, making sure that you're doing your best to avoid that come the afternoon, because it actually stays in your system for up between 6 to 8 hours. So that's quite a long period of time. So if you're struggling to fall to sleep and you want to make the most of the sleep that you are getting, I would suggest keeping your caffeine quota to the early morning time and moving away from it then if you're looking for that afternoon boost, doing something that's a little bit different. The next thing then that we're looking at is being consistent with your sleep times and your wake times. So some lovely research showed here that those families who were consistent with the times that they went to bed and consistent with the times that they woke up had significantly more deep and restful sleep. So it impacted how much and how good that sleep was when it actually came to bedtime. So if you can do your best to stick within reasonably consistent sleep times, it will have a huge impact on how restful your sleep actually is. I've written here that it also alters your melatonin levels, which signals for your brain when to sleep. So we all know the impact of melatonin. It's helped us to wind down, to get ready for that sleep time. And if our melatonin is messed with, it means that it's not sending us those natural inbuilt messages that tell us when it's time to rest, and making it harder for you to shut off then. The next tip that I have for you is to start incorporating magnesium in your day, in your diet. So for me, this looks like the form of either a whole body bath when I manage it, or just like a foot soak with Epsom salts in there. You can also use like a little sea salt spray that's in like an oil form on like your calves, your wrists, and your chest with this like thinner skin there. But magnesium has over 600 different functions within the body, so it's hugely important for like muscle contractility and nervous system management. So it's really, really beneficial for you if you struggle to switch off at night time, if your mind is maybe very busy, or if you just find that you have these really like kind of wakeful periods during the night. So instead of being able to maybe just get up and nurse your baby and go back to sleep if you're a nursing mama, or you find like you're getting up and kind of just then awake for a period of the night, magnesium can be really, really helpful as a part of that wind down routine. And it's just hugely impactful for new mothers in particular. I would love for every new mama to be taking it, but in particular to enhance your sleep quality, it can be really important. I'm looking down because I've written all of these things down so I don't miss one. The next one then is sleep environment, and actually a fantastic study quoted that over 50% of the participants in this study noticed improved sleep when they looked at both changing the lighting and reducing the outdoor external sound. So if you are maybe living beside traffic, if you have got maybe sound coming from like the TV downstairs or whatever it might be, making sure that you are reducing the external sound or adding in white noise or brown noise instead of that external sound. So as parents, that's probably like a better option if you're maybe living near a big busy road or something like that. But also just overall looking at your sleep environment. So if you were thinking, okay, you've got like a house that's just chaotic, it's filled with like kids' toys and like bright lights and all of the things, and maybe just a lot of mess, a lot of laundry, instead of bringing that chaos into your bedroom space, making sure that that space is a space of calm, a space of tranquility. So that's something that we've really been doing our best with. We used to like pile up all of the clean laundry that needed to be folded and organized in our bedroom, and now we have since repainted the room in like this beautiful like duck eggshell blue, and it's so calming and relaxing. Instead of like the bright reading light that we had, we've got a little Himalayan salt lamp, so it's like that warm soft lighting, and it's a really like calm, tranquil space. So even if I've had a really busy, really stressful like work day, coming into my bedroom in the evening time to just like wind down and get ready to sleep, I just take a breath of like peace the minute that I walk in there. So looking at your environment, looking at the lighting, looking at maybe how you can block out some of that external sound, and seeing what you can do to set your environment up for an enhanced sleep quality. The next thing then, online with the environment, is the sleep temperature, and this is something that not a lot of us think of, and for me it's something that I didn't even realize was an option until I had kids. And all of a sudden you're looking at what temperature is their bedroom, how hot or cold are they, and it's something that's really quite tricky to be looking at, and you forget like I've never done that for myself. So it's sometimes about just kind of like touching base on what feels good. But actually, in terms of enhancing sleep quality, we want to make sure that our bedroom is a little bit cooler than it is a little bit warmer. So for us, the ideal temperature for your bedroom environment is in and around 20 degrees for an adult. And similarly so for a baby. If you're wondering about what to be clothing your baby in, you want to be thinking about them having one more layer than what you have. So for instance, if you're wearing like your pajamas and then like a light duvet cover or quilt, your little one is going to be wearing a vest, their PJs, and then their light tog cover or quilt. And if you're co-sleeping, then the same thing applies. So they're wearing their vests, their jammies, and then under the little duvet or their own separate blanket, and making sure that you're following the Safe Sleep 7 if that is you. But yeah, somewhere in and around 20 degrees, playing with that, kind of slightly up or down. But when we're talking about sleep quality, those of us who had the temperatures slightly higher in our bedrooms had a less restful and less like deep sleep quality, and we're more likely to be wakeful during the night. So always worthwhile looking at what temperature you're actually sleeping in. The next one then is looking at how we do that wind down routine. So if you've been clever enough to be sticking to some reasonably regular rhythms around your wake times and your sleep times, looking at how you reach that sleep time is just as important. So are you taking the time to just switch off from work brain? I know I'm super guilty of that, literally demoing that as we speak, but taking the time to just wind down from that. So for you, it might be reading a chapter of your book, getting into that world for a bit. It might be getting into a bath, even if it's just a foot soak with magnesium added, even better, your Epsom salts. It might be a case of listening to a guided meditation or relaxation track to just help you calm yourself right down and get into that space. If you're lucky enough, even your partner might give you a gentle back massage or a neck massage, just help kind of melt away the tensions from the day. That can be a really lovely way for you to just get into your body and out of your busy mind. So they're all lovely ideas. Just give you some ideas for relaxation techniques before bed. The next thing then that's worthwhile looking at is your exercise. We all know how important it is to exercise frequently to move our bodies well, but actually when we're talking about maximizing the quality of your sleep, we want to make sure that we're moving that exercise away from sleep time. We all know that lovely buzz that you get after exercise released from our endorphins and the adrenaline rush, and that little spike of energy that it can give us can actually stop our bodies from having that nice wind down to that restful state that's required before falling asleep. So just looking at maybe moving your exercise routine earlier in the day. The last thing here before my bonus tip then is to look at your bedding. So do you work better with more breathable natural fibers? Is your mattress needing to be replaced? Could you get maybe a mattress topper to give you a more firm or more supportive space for your body to rest in? Do you maybe need to have a weighted blanket or a cooling blanket if you're maybe a very hot sleeper? Do you need a pillow that's more firm? Making sure that you are comfortable in the bedclothes that you are wearing and in the bed that you are lying on can make a huge difference as to whether or not you're waking up during the night simply just to fluff up your pillow, or if your neck is getting a little bit of a crick in it. Making sure that you're doing all of the safety. Of course, if you were sharing a bed with your baby, you're not going to be having a weighted blanket and you want to be going for a more firm mattress topper. But looking at all of those things can really have an impact in terms of how you sleep at night. I know quite recently we've invested in, because we weren't in the market to get a brand new mattress, a mattress topper instead, and it's been an absolute game changer. It's just made a world of difference in terms of the comfort. I cannot wait to climb into bed. It's just so lovely. And then recently we got like a new pillow, and I have like 5 different pillows on the bed, but none of them will actually feel comfortable to me until the right consistency and the right like shape, because I'm quite a small person and I'm only like 5 foot, so at a push. So for me, like the big regular pillows just don't work. I have to have like this little small perfect pillow, and it just fits my head and my neck so nicely, and I just end up sleeping so comfortably. And then of course my bonus tip is that sleep is not all. If you are a new parent and you have a little one who's waking several times at night, making sure that you're getting bouts of rest during the day. So restorative rest, that might mean listening to a guided meditation. That might mean closing your eyes when you can when you are nursing your baby. That might mean figuring out how to feed your baby in a side-lying position. Working with an IBCLC, I can help you there, to nail that side-lying feeding position, or a laid back, more natural feeding position, so that you can really relax every muscle, right from your forehead to your jaw to you melting your shoulders away from your ears, and just feeling yourself sink into the sofa or bed beneath you means that you can really rest your body as much as you can in the times that you can. Know that this phase is not going to be forever, and getting those little bouts of rest can be so hugely beneficial for you moving on with that next portion of your day. I hope you found this video helpful. I myself am going to go and start that wind down routine to help myself get all set up for a nice night's sleep, I hope. I hope you also have a nice night's sleep after this video, and you can implement some of these ideas for you and feel like you can be more rested and ready for the day ahead. And I hope you found this video helpful. I will see you in the next one, and thank you so much for watching.